about. Is it important for us to make younger writers, women, feel it's a good place to do things, to become a writer? Would you say? I mean, you're the youngest, so I'm going to keep saying that.
I'm not that young, mate. Yes, definitely. I think representation is very important. So, you know, as I was growing up, thankfully there were a few writers that inspired me, and being able to see the change over the years of seeing more black writers and people of mixed heritage that made me feel a little more seen. But I think, yes, it's extremely important for us to utilise different ways via different mediums to inspire young people.
And you perform, do you perform in clubs, on the street? Where are you actually doing your work?
All of the above. I sometimes go into schools as well, and I do a lot of workshops. I'm a creative health practitioner, which is a new term that we've recently coined, and that is basically I support people's well-being via creative practice workshops, mostly in different charities and music organisations and stuff. But yeah, going into schools, speaking with young artists and young people, and seeing, just sharing that story really, and people being able to see that there are others out there publishing books and stuff, and that's always inspirational.
Well, I think Brixton for me has been a very creative space all the time. There was artists came, actors came, entertainers came, and so it carries on. Obviously it has changed, as you mentioned in your poem, but there's still, the ground is staying here in Brixton. So I just want to ask you what you can think of to the future of Lambeth really, and how the creative writing and what you can do to make sure that this continues in our borough, because it is under threat, the arts. So.
Can I go back to the legacy question? I mean, I think for me as a writer, and also I also teach writing poetry. For me, and I think also this is where libraries are so important. You know, just reading very widely, and I try to, you know, grow in terms of how I see the world, my view of the world by reading, being very diverse, you know, by reading, connecting with, you know, diverse voices from all over the world, diverse experiences, you know, connecting with the climate catastrophe, and I'm particularly interested in First Nation and Indigenous voices. So for me, legacy, I suppose, is as well as mentoring, and I wouldn't necessarily say young writers, because I think new writers, you know, I think emerging writers is a good, you know, someone might have had to have raised kids and have a career before they have time to, you know, to do what they would really like to do, which is writing. So, yeah, for me, mentoring is really important, as well as introducing a wide range of writing to my students as well. So, and you know, I learn a lot. And so for me, reading, I'd say I'm a reader before I'm a writer. For me, reading is the most important thing about being a writer. And you know, obviously that's where libraries come in as well. You know, the access it gives us, and it's one of the few completely democratic spaces we have now, where you don't have to buy a coffee. You know, anyone can come in from the rain and the cold and can sit and read or whatever it is they're doing.
And I think just to say, carry on from that conversation, was that translations of others' work, you can get copies of. Online was incredible, because you talked about Irish writers. We were doing online workshops with people all over the world, so that's been, libraries often do have a link. And you have an Irish link, is that right?
I am the Irish. In fact, I've never had a British passport in my life. So I'm half Egyptian, so it's a strange combination. I think two observations I'd make here. One, Brixton is an absolutely brilliant place to bring together young and old to writing. Like we took over Summer Day Square to do the Kids Book Jam a few years ago. And that was really hard to organise because none of the local schools really wanted to particularly be part of it, weirdly enough. But because it was right next to Angel Estate with kids coming over to do workshops with Peers Tour Day, where else would that happen? You get Manny Chow outside the church on a Saturday just popping up. So that's brilliant. And I think that although the internet creates all these weird little geographies of interest and bubbles that kind of don't touch each other, it also allowed us during the pandemic to do a book jam simultaneously broadcasting from 3 continents. And so we got it. We had people from Africa, Finland, France, and Brixton all performing online in the same show. So I guess I would just like to keep the optimism. Yes, it's changing, but we have got a library that's the one unchanging thing in the centre of our community. We've got to kind of hold on to.
Right. Well, we very much want to say thank you to our librarians and to pass that on to our library. Would you Tai Chi in this room? Would you talk about Be Well? Be Well is one of our grants for creative writing as well. And that's extra to what the library does. I mean, this month, obviously, you can see it's Black History Month. Every day is Black History as well, and we know that for women it's the same. So we've done this day, and I'm going to ask a few people in the room if they want to add any questions. I'm not going to do a roving mic, otherwise some of you can take it and do it. Is anybody offering? I'll do it. Oh, no, sorry. I've got a young man here. Is there anybody like to ask the panel a question? Could I ask a question of it?
Hi guys, just want to say thank you for your amazing performances, all very inspiring. My question, as a writer myself and a musician, I really connect with you, Lara, specifically. I have a question for all 3 of you. What's your youngest memory and youngest memory of your first sort of exposure, inspiration, or passion, or pain that you first felt when you first felt natural to be vocal and write? What was that first memory like, or inspiration?
So I have to love to answer this one because I remember being blown along the roads when I was 5, and I wrote, that was the first time I ever wrote a book. It was about how the wind could blow away pain as well as leaves, and I think that's the elements are very powerful. So that's mine.
Is there any other questions? Yes, I'm just going to say before that, because we have to get out of the end quite quickly, there is the refreshments will disappear fairly soon. So we'll answer this question, and then perhaps we can move into smaller groups. Is that all right with you? Yeah. Just because you want to ask these people some questions, but we can share it and look at the books at the same time and have a laugh. Because our library manager is working tonight, and it's really special for us to have her here, but she's busy working. So, let's finish these questions.
I think my earliest memory is really important and just reading all the time. And I was very shy, and I didn't, when I was a teenager, I would write poetry, but I thought it was really terrible. And so I did all my writing was kind of done in secret until I was a little bit older, and it was just like something I felt really compelled to express myself and to try and make sense of things through writing. So I think for me, like really big young memories always of reading and being read to, and then the writing kind of came a bit later. I think it was always in there, but it was something to do with confidence,
I used to travel to the Barbican Centre as a child. My mum would take me there on a Saturday, and then for some strange reason she would make me go on the tube by myself when I was about 10. So I started to travel there every week, and whilst I was with Mum on the tube, she would point out the poems on the Underground. Yeah. And so it's such a vast range of different writers, and that was very inspiring. But she would always say to me, read between the lines. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Yeah, but that, her speaking through things with me and making me look at the words in a different way and read between the lines and think of what the potential different people's perspectives might be. That was really inspirational to me, inspiring. And then also I had a vast library of books at home for Mum's love of literature. My whole family loves books. In fact, I don't know why my aunt said that she doesn't have boxes of books, or she doesn't want boxes of books. She definitely has boxes of books in that house. But Patience Agababi, who's an amazing performance poet, she had a book that inspired me a lot as a child, and writing became an outlet to support my emotions, and yeah, to start kind of understanding things from a different perspective and sharing those things. And I started to share in PSHE class at school. But yeah, lots of different inspirations.
Is there any other questions? Yes, you are.
First thing, a kind of experiment that we put together, and we've got our audience, and it's been a really nice event. Do you think that this could be an annual event, that we would want to celebrate the first Monday after St. Teresa's Day, which is the 14th, so it'll be roughly the same year, first Monday? Is this something that the audience thinks that we would like to do again, or you would like to do again? That women writers would like to come and share, perform, and actually talk about these kind of experiences that we've just been relating to, which is fantastic. I love these.
Well,
Do you think you would?
I think you might say we're doing more book jamming.
Marilyn, could you use the mic? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Zelda's doing more book jams in the future, but the library hopefully will open to any suggestions. That's a very good one. Obviously, Women's Month tends to be in March, but there's also Readers' Rights Festivals in May. I certainly will propose it next year, and whatever women are around who would like to do it, we can do it again. But it is a great idea, and also other centres locally perform Brixton community-based projects, do certain grants, and could think about that, because you've done it all free and voluntary, because it's your local. So I really thank you for coming tonight. Is that all right? Does that answer your questions, Sue? But we can discuss.
Just about what's something that rolls on.
Yeah, so
you get interested in it.
we have to thank Beata initially, and obviously Meredith for publishing books, or Beata's as well. And yes, we will do it in future. We've also done Benjamin Zephaniah because of his legacy, and so that was Anik at the back who has initiated that. So I think we have got a good, strong track record in the Friends of Libraries. It's already happening in Carnegie every month, an author talks. So I think that we could put that down. So I'd like to thank you again, but please stay and talk to people and share the rest of the refreshments before they get whizzed away. Thank you.